your car. And then
Funky Black, Ambush, and Lady G, check 'em out.
Flip squad, flip squad.
Who that brothers that get it live?
Flip squad. Who's the hip hop tour guide?
Flip Squad representing 97.5.
Flip squad.
There's some new kids on the block.
Turn up the volume. If you didn't know you got the crew, you better call them.
Bootleg, the lyrical murder MC. Flavors got you feeling like you're buffing.
Vincent C. Double K Holiday, he's in here.
Guaranteed to play the jams that you wanna hear. Hip hop classics.
New school flavor. Once you get known, then no one can save you.
From the constant bobbing of your head while you listen to the type of radio plays while you listen.
Long time coming.
Everybody, my name's Lady G.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet y'all. And I just heard one young lady say she hadn't met me yet, but I've met you in spirit.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right.
Well, let me give you a summary of my sister here. This is a longtime friend of mine / sister who I worked with for many years in Atlanta at the station that we were at, and she knows me, and we've been through the fire together. We share a lot of stories, a lot of history concerning radio. When you look at Angela Yee, she was the blueprint for Angela Yee. They used her as well as myself and KK as the model for the Breakfast Club. So we've gone through a lot. She's been in the industry. Well, I'll let her tell her story, because people will start coming in, but we're gonna have this for prosperity. So
Absolutely.
she's gonna be in with us on a lot of different conversations. So I yield to my sister, my partner in crime, Lady
I
Gigi.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yes, I'm Lady G, and I'm basically the first female hip hop show producer out of Atlanta. Um, we were on a station, Bootleg, KK, and of course Lady G. We put together a show called the Flip Squad, in which it blew up overnight. And we basically opened a lot of doors for a lot of artists that are very successful to this day. Our job was to put Atlanta on the map, to make Atlanta the #1 radio station for Hot 97 in the South or in the world. People that worked amongst us was Ludacris, which is a dear friend of mine. Chris was at the studio, hanging out most of the time, after school, and kind of like following our footsteps, because we looked up to us as like role models, and it's something that he saw himself doing with radio and can take it to a next level, which opened his doors up for his career of being with DTP, Disturbing the Peace. So it all started at the radio station. We were the first pioneers that started that station with a format from 6 to 10, which consists of myself, Bootleg, and KK. And the show just blew up overnight. So that's who I am. I was the show producer.
Well, it's an honor to even be in your presence. Wow.
It's an honor to meet y'all and talk to y'all. Yeah, we've been through a whole lot as far as building the radio station and putting Atlanta on the map. So all the local artists for a long time, they never got any type of love from Outkast, Goody Mob, the Dungeon Family, all the bass groups, Raheem the Dream, DJ Kizzy Rock. It goes on and on and on and on. A lot of the people that were trying to get on, the reason that they were not successful at the beginning was because of radio. V103 was the only station that was catering to urban.
Mm-hmm.
So they either had to pay or not get played.
I grew up in Georgia, and I grew up in southern Georgia. So like the only black radio station that we could access was 97.3 based out of Tallahassee. And we was too
Mm-hmm.
far down to get 97.5 up there in Atlanta. But as soon as you do like an hour and a half up the road, that's what you go. It's like you go from radio station to radio station as you travel up Georgia, and you just had to go
Right.
and flip through until you found the black people.
Right. So when Hot 97, when they brought hip hop to the South, it opened up a lot of doors. Because what happened is people like Dre them from Outkast, Woody Mob, all of them, they had another avenue. They can actually be in a format where they could get their music played and spin. So that's where we came in. With our competitor station, they went by their format, but they didn't
Get up here
support
and
the
sit down.
local artists.
Now.
So that's what really put Atlanta on the map, by us interacting with the audience,
Get up here and
bringing the
sit down.
audience on to make them feel like they're just not listening to our show. They was taking part in our show. So that's when we created Who Got the Flavor. Now, Who Got the Flavor was a segment that came on at 8 o'clock. And basically what that did was with Bootleg and KK, they allowed the audience to come on and actually perform. Or if they want to be a singer, they want to be a rapper. We actually put on a beat. Bootleg, they put on a beat and let them, do their thing. And if they were good, we gave them what they call a fat pack, which was like a big back sack, book bag with CDs, giveaways, t-shirts. And then if they were whack, we gave them a sound effect of a toilet flushing them. So
The toilet
just,
bowl. I swear to God, that shit
yeah,
was funny. The
yeah,
toilet bowl.
gave them a toilet bowl. But yeah, from Shaka Zulu to Chris, he came after us. I ended up landing a record deal. So that's what happened with me. I ended up signing with Inner Sound Records, which was an affiliation with George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelics. So I had a choice to either do radio again or sign my record deal. And my program director, Steve Hector, told me, "You too talented to be on the radio." So I ended up going with the deal. And he said, "Who would you like to replace you?" I said, "Get Chris." Said he know how to work the board a little bit. I say he rapping over beats, the same thing I was doing basically. Um, and that's how he got his foot in the door with the help of me, Bootleg, KK, Shaka, Jerry Smoking B, and they all catered to him, and they brought him in.
Postman.
Postman, and then they end up having to link him up with someone to be a co-host, and they got Poon Daddy. So it was
Poon Daddy.
Poon Daddy and Chris Lover Lover.
Yo, Gigi, this Post, what's happening?
What's going on, Post?
So last week, me and Craig or Bootleg, we was talking about this last weekend. I
Uh-huh.
told the story how Chris, he was Ryan's intern at first, and Ryan never wanted to do his production and commercial and stuff. So they
Right.
made Chris come in there and do all his commercials and stuff. And long story short, Chris came and told me,
Mm-hmm.
other than him having to go get chicken and run errands for us, he came and told me he wanted to be a rapper. So I put together a jingle.
Mm-hmm.
What was her name?
Was it that one
Shania.
on the radio? Yeah, I think I heard it. It was on the radio, right?
Yeah, it was on the radio. It was the first time he ever rhymed on the radio because the track was Bone Thugs and Harmony. Got to get that money,
Oh yeah.
and it was for Shania. What was her name? That lady that was a CPA, light skinned Shania. Anyway, she used to do tips on how to save your money and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that, and people started requesting that commercial. It sounded so good, and that's the first time Chris ever rhymed on the radio.
Right.
And is it her name Janiyah Bootleg? Y'all know remember this name of this lady? She was a
Yeah.
It was Janaya. I think it was Janaya or Janaya or some shit
something
like
Hey,
like
that.
that.
You close.
Coach
She
Man, do you
said,
remember? Y'all remember that Tri City in the house and it don't stop? Remember he was on that one?
"Oh yeah,
Right,
He did
right.
that with me. He was on the hook with me.
okay." But yeah, so many stories from back then.
So what happened with the lady?
Nothing. The promo did good and it took off and made her so off the chain and
Mhm.
it worked.
So you
That was
actually did the production. You mixed it. You sampled it and mixed it and put them on there.
well, like I said, Ryan was supposed to be doing his production. You know how I'm the production director, and after you get off your show, you got to do your commercials and stuff.
Right.
Ryan didn't want to do it, so they made Chris come in and do production with me every day. And so
Mhm.
now he with me from like 10 to 2.
Mhm.
You got to make sure all they stuff. So now he basically working with me. He posts, man, I want to be a rapper and all. Oh, you want to rhyme? Okay, well, you going to do this commercial today.
I
and
know, right?
so and so that's
Voice.
how that's the first time he was actually heard on Hot 97 back then.
Right, because I remember Ryan asked me to do a morning, but I'm not no morning person. I always been a night person, and then he ended up getting Chris instead to do the morning.
Yeah,
The morning.
I mean, Chris was his intern for the most part because he was still in high school.
Right. I
Yeah,
remember. I remember because I used to give him a ride to his grandmama house in that little CRX I used to drive. That little red car.
Chris Bridges.
Hmm.
That's crazy. And then where did Lala come from? I remember her being in high school and just hanging around the station, and then the next thing you know, she on the air too.
I know, right? That's what I said.
Like,
She was our intern. She
oh,
was,
she was
oh,
y'all's
Craig.
intern.
She was our intern. Oh,
Well,
Craig. And all up in our face. That was when she had that really short haircut, you know what I'm saying? But she was always cute, them green eyes, them
Right, right.
motherfuckers was piercing,
But she had that
you know?
Mickey Mouse voice. She had a voice sounding like
Right.
Minnie Mouse, and I told her
Little
right back then. I said,
squeakies.
"You ain't gonna make it in radio with a voice like that."
Not like that. Not like that. You could do some movies and some other shit, but you can't do radio, son. But she was determined. Now I don't know how that stroke came about or that happened after our departure,
you know how
but she definitely blew up and attached herself.
No,
So
I'm gonna
she
tell
was
you what
trained.
happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Chris and Poon took her underneath their wing and put her on their show.
oh
And
that was it.
over time, her voice started, getting a little bass in it, and she groomed her talents and changed into the Lala that we know now. But back then, it was like bust stop.
Yeah, well I didn't
Real,
get a
real
chance to
talk. But I kept her around because she was cute. I'm like, yo, you're sexy, you're cute. Yo, I'm not gonna rock with you like that, even though I did my share of dirt, but I never shit where I ate. You understand? So no matter how cute she was, I wasn't into fraternizing. So
When
she
she was
she she
young
was
too,
a
she was in high
she was
school.
young. Oh yeah, she was young. She was really young. She was like super young, in high school, really eager,
I
and you
know.
could tell she had the energy to maneuver in other circles. But she was fresh fish. She was really starry eyed and fresh fish.
So let
Yeah,
me
but
ask y'all something. What happened to Ramona DeBro?
God, Ramona is still in
she
the
got she
business.
got she got she got hired at B103, and she still do the middays at B103 to this day.
But I remember talking to her, and she had her heart so much on signing with DTP.
Oh yeah, right. I remember because she wanted to. Look,
And Chris,
okay, Ramona could sing better almost than Whitney Houston. Let me say that.
soul sister.
And she was
Yup.
probably more talented than anybody that I seen at this station, but she never got. I don't know how she never got a deal and went.
Well,
That's crazy.
well, from my understanding, what she told me was they kept basically putting her on hold. Like with me, and I can believe it because even with
I could
me,
see that. Hmm.
Shaka Zulu, she says, Lady G, you know what an office is, DTP, right? I was like, okay, cool. I was like, what? I said, what's up? He said, bring me some music. I carried him like 6 songs one time. Then I carried him another 6, and then another 7. So just it kept over the years, just kept bringing them songs. And he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna put you with a producer." And he was like, "Lady G, you could be the next Biggie." This is what Shaka said to me, which is an honor to be on that pedestal, to rank me that high. So you could be female Biggie. So, I kept going up to the office, going up. One time I waited in the office for probably about 3 hours, Shaka, waiting on Shaka to meet with me. I finally met with him, played some music, left it. Went again, played some music, left it. Went again, played some more music, left it. So it was just like one thing after another. So trust me, I can believe that, and sometimes people string you along just because they feel like they could do it and it's okay to do it. You know what I mean? Then that's when you gotta go another direction.
So I have a question, if you don't mind me asking, Lady G,
Go right ahead.
because I'm kind of in like I'm not in the entertainment industry, but I do spoken word, and like I have like a couple of EPs out, and I have one on the way coming out, and like just hearing your story, it just sounds like like so like you were like very successful in your life, but there was a lot of things that you also really wanted to do that you weren't able to do. And so, what do you think about like the whole spoken word industry?
I think it's a beautiful thing. Spoken word is the root of everything. Music, rap, because all it is poetry. And that's what I started doing. My mom motivated me to write because I always was a good writer. For some reason, I just had that nature just to write, and I wrote rhymes, and I wrote poetry, spoken word. And then they said, "Well, you need to put that with some music." She said, "Baby, you need to put that with some music. You sound good." So she was my inspiration, and that's what I did. Took it to another level. Then I started rapping, because basically that's what it is. It's just slowed down. It's more of a monotone, a darker tone, a fulfilled tone. But it's the same thing. It's just spoken words. It's words you're speaking from your insole, from your spirit, from your gut.
Fact.
And it's a passion. And other people feel that passion that you giving off through word form, through metaphors and similes. So that's the root of everything. That's where it started, at the bottom for me. That's why I did spoken word. But you just got to be careful. Like, people don't understand that if a person is successful and they're huge and they become real big, which a lot of my friends have been very successful. A lot of our friends like Post, Bootleg. We have a lot of successful friends. But at the end of the day, those people are not guaranteed to look back. So you have to surround yourself around positive energy and positive people that 20 years later they're going to say, okay, what's your name?
My name is Nico B.
Okay, Nico. They look back and say, Nico is the one that did this. Nico is the one. They're going to give you your credit. You're going to give credit where credit is due. Are you
Yeah,
doing shows right now?
I do shows. I mean, the pandemic kind of like uh hindered us from like really doing like shows like in person. But I've been doing a lot of like you know how they've been doing like verses and stuff like that. Like you do like the online spoken word lives and stuff like that. So I've been doing a lot of those. And just recently, I did one like at the end of October towards November. I did a live one in New York City, a live show. Um, but yeah, like I just feel like a lot of people like because for me, like I say a lot of things, like my words convey, like the way I express myself might go over a lot of people's heads of what I'm saying, and I feel like
Somebody
sometimes